Alright, I'm back. Got a drink of water. You know, edited the headset. I'm plugging it in so it shouldn't beep anymore and be annoying. I've also made it so that it doesn't slick my hair back and get right up to my skull and start possibly even damaging it if there for too long. And let's get right on to Charge Man. Thomas. To be honest, he doesn't look like... He is supposed to be a train, but it's not like he's just a train. He still has legs and stuff. So I guess he's slightly less he's pretty laughable. Although this stage, I do like it. It really does look kind of like a train. And, I mean, as you'd probably know, the beat and music in this game, especially in this level, obviously, feel like you're on a train. I cannot speak today. Then again, based on some of my videos, I can't really speak on any day. It's also kind of cool that you can go inside the train. It's not even like a scrolling part where you just fall inside like that. It just fades out and fades back in to the train. You know, for some reason those chickens, I don't know what the plural, kind of reminds me of those chicken, gunman chickens, the badniks in Flying Fortress Zone. Winged Fortress, that's what it is. I don't know, just the trooper chickens. I mean, where have you seen that before? A lot of enemies in this game seem to have a strange amount of 2 hits to kill them. I'm not really sure why. Right here we could show the alternate rush that they made for this game. Instead of a coil on top of him, there's now at the bottom to make you jump off of him. Honestly, this is kind of a pointless change. You know, if you want probably better commentary, since a lot of it is more planned out and takes over like a year for half the games. Go check out Gemini Lasers. Gemini Lasers playthrough of pretty much any Mega Man game. He talks about a lot of the stuff. I think I mentioned it before. He does mention that like an instance where Rush Coil could be used, but really it just seems kind of pointless. Okay, this stage, still a little longer than other Mega Man games. General length of stages. However, it wasn't too bad. I think that this stage is a generally good length. Whenever Charge Man is spitting out his coal and turning red like that, or charging towards you, which I'll demonstrate, like that, yeah. He is immune to fire. Not fire like a weapon about fire, but immune to shots. Anyways, there we go. Is that a perfect run? Nah, couldn't have been. Either way, a lot of the later Mega Man games are a lot easier not to take a hit. In some respects, that's a good thing, because if you look at, for example, I'll bring this up again, Quick Man, it just looks like you're getting hit constantly. But here, the challenges are more fair, but they might also be a little easier, or even a little too easy. I should probably explain all the weapons now that I'm here. Power Stone we got from... Actually, I'll go in order. Star Crash we got from Starman. It's not really... It doesn't really protect you for much. It goes away as soon as it hits something. Ow. Okay, well, these are obstacles. I'm not sure if they don't really count as enemies. I guess this could help you once. If you press B again, then you'll throw it. I don't know. I don't find that very useful. Gravity hold for the enemies that are weak or affected by it. It's sort of a screen nuke, although not with these enemies. If the enemies are weak enough, they'll even float up to space. The gravity will reverse and they'll just fly up, presumably to their death, where they won't be able to breathe despite them being robots and not even needing oxygen. Why did I do that? Let's explain. Where was I? Oh yeah, gyro attack. You shoot it once, and then you can press up or down to direct it, but only once. Only once. You can't do it a second time. What is it now? Crystal Eye. Throwing it against nothing will just cause it to go infinitely. Against a wall, though, and it'll split into 3 and bounce everywhere. I really like this place. I think this is a very unique idea to use the bubbles, although I think it's a little slow. That's something that I'm not really fond of. Is there like an invisible ceiling? Yeah, there is. Yeah, this room, if you keep walking to the right, you'll go in an automatic cutscene to get on a jet ski. There is a way to, like, glitch through it, but I'm not going to show it. We'll show off more of the weapons afterwards. Right here, you're sort of, stuck on this place, on this thing, the jet ski. What's also interesting is that you can't pause during this scene. I guess it's just because to not use your weapons, but I'm legitimately thinking that something in the programming would go wrong if you were to crash, so they disabled the feature. Time for a mini boss. I think this part is kind of fun. Ow. Except for when the mini boss is really close to you. Please get away. Thank you. Yep. There we go. Wee. I really like this section. I also like the sort of juxtaposition of it being very action-packed, sort of. Despite the music being very common, this is also one of my more loved. That doesn't make any sense. One of my more appreciated tracks in this game. I like it. Another automatic cutscene, and there we go. We have full control again. I should get rid of this thing and then show off the rest of the attacks. The rest of my attacks. Ooh. Napalm bomb. It goes on the ground and it explodes. Okay, eventually it does. Sometimes it's supposed to stop at a wall, but I guess these don't really count as walls around here. A power stone or protect stone. I've heard both, but I think in the game it says power stone, so I'm gonna go with that. Power stone. It projects it really far. Too far, in fact, to really get a good idea of what it is. Although you can use it strategically, you just need to find out when. If you want to use rapid fire, the best thing to do is just pause and keep using it. That's useful to defeat Charge Man, whose weakness is Power Stone. Speaking of Charge Man, the Charge Kick. You don't press B in this weapon. It's for on the ground, using the Charge Kick. It's kind of self-explanatory, really. A lot of these weapons, and the reason I don't like them that much, they're probably some of the least versatile and generally not even that good in the whole Mega Man classic series. It's just because a lot of them are ground-based, and the ones that aren't are a little too crazy to predict that well, like that. Although obviously in this hallway, I guess it's not that bad. It's more like secluded. But Napalm Bomb, it's on the ground. It's a ground weapon. Fair enough. Charge Kick, it's a ground weapon. Okay, I don't know why there's two, but, you know, that's okay. There's also another one that we're gonna get from Wave Man, another ground weapon. Now, if you're standing still as he's shooting his wave pistons, I guess, they'll always miss you. But that's this is like as soon as he lands from his jump there. So just be sure about that. If you're moving, it'll have a higher chance of hitting you. Or actually, it has a chance of hitting you, from what I know. That's really all there is to that. Whenever he shoots his hook or trident or whatever it's supposed to be, except it's not a trident, it's more like a bident, or a dident, I guess. It could potentially throw off your jump, because you have to jump over it, but also not run into him while he's falling down from his jump. It's just you gotta be close enough to him so that the hook isn't a problem to jump over, and also avoid him. Ugh, I'm kinda tired. Now let's fight Proto Man. I mean, clearly he's the villain. I mean, he stole Dr. Light? He stole Dr. Light. I just realized, I mean, I know he's kidnapped, and I mean, it's not like that's that stupid, but I don't know, that sounded really stupid the way I phrased that. Did I mention about these tigers yet? Yeah, don't get too close to them unless you have a fully charged shot ready. That's generally the accepted strategy. As soon as you shoot, they'll jump at you. So just make sure you have a whole shot ready to get them down in one hit. Oh god, there's that one. I don't like that one. I do like the Proto Man castle music. The Proto Castle, if you will. But it just seems that oh yeah, by the way, we have a wall like this. I think that it's very effective if you can do it properly. Don't seem to be doing it properly. There you go. Jump off Rush Jet right before he teleports away. So you don't have to even waste any energy. It's awesome. So I do think that it got a little too formulaic in how the castle seems to be doubled. Like, there always seems to be another villain, then found out that it's Dr. Wily, and I guess a bit of spoilers, Proto Man is not the villain. Really hate to spoil that to you, but if you've been paying attention, you would probably figure that out already. So there always seems to be 4 levels per castle and 2 castles, which isn't bad, I guess. It's just a little formulaic and predictable. In fact, I don't think there has been one game so far, one game throughout this entire Mega Man series, like even to date, not even the ones that I've played yet, but the ones to date where Wily has not been the villain. Not that there's that much wrong with it, it's just that, like, it's just that you should probably be aware of that. Not the games are that plot relevant. Not plot relevant, but not that the games are very plot heavy. That's the right word I should use. Those enemies seem to just take 1 hit, so that's nice. These ones are kind of annoying. Just don't jump or move with them on you. Now we come up to the first fortress boss. He's the least mobile out of all of them, but probably the most difficult, all things considered. Eventually, every once in a while he'll shoot himself, however every time he gets shot he'll also shoot. He'll also increase in speed every time he gets shot, which can be kind of hectic to dodge him like that. For some reason he turns around faster than you would expect him to. By the way, while I'm here really quick, his weakness is the wave. No, I feel like whenever I see a W, that implies the name of the Robot Master. Or whenever I see a letter, a single letter as an acronym, I think that it's wave. Well, I think it's actually water wave, but still. Wave. I like that. I'm gonna use that. I don't know how I'm gonna use that. I'm probably not gonna use that. Oh, by the way, before I forget, right when we get to the next stage, yeah, it always seems to be like there's a little bit of time after the jingle plays and to let you go to the next level during that cutscene. So apparently you're able to kill those guys without the use of... without the use of a charge shot through the shield, however. Yeah. That thing, as you could probably expect, there's a hole in one of these dents. I'm not sure where it is. You can go through and get that M-tank. Just dodge these guys. Yeah, a lot of these stages, they're really not too bad, and I don't know, they seem to all merge together. There's nothing like too unique about each one. Not that they're that bad of stages, it's just that they typically don't have much variety, at least compared to the others. They do use a lot of other enemies, which is something that I like. It's like enemies that you probably wouldn't expect, but it's just not... They're not all unique in their own way. There's like... I guess the art style is different, but... it's... in terms of assets and all that, I guess this one can be kind of interesting. It's the very conveyor belt friendly level. Actually, what I was going to show off is that with all the letters we've spelled out in Mega Man 5, we've unlocked Beat. We'll show off Beat later, and I'll explain what he does, because when I show him off will probably be a little confusing to some people who don't really understand his purpose. A lot of enemies in this game also have a lot of instances where they're just immune to shots. It's kind of annoying. It's not just what I mentioned earlier, that like every enemy has like a little invulnerability period, kind of like bosses, but it just seems that a lot of them are either impossible to hit based on their position here, or they're just completely invulnerable, period. See right here, when they're down like that, the Mets are kind of... you can't hit them, but when they're up like that and they fire at you, they are possible to damage. They are possible to damage. Right here, I'd wait for the tiger to go over you, and then shoot him with the big one. Shoot him with the big one, in between the eyes, or whatever it is. Whatever the expression is, I think that's what it is. Ow. I don't like them tigers. We've introduced ourselves to a slightly more mobile robot. He's probably the easiest out of... he's probably one of the easier bosses in the game, really. Again, mentioning that a lot of these bosses are pretty easy in general anyways, so... just shoot him at the right time and jump over him. It's really not that much of a challenge. I mentioned that I really like the way that the Mega Shot looks now. It's not just like a slightly bigger shot like in Mega Man 4. It's like now like huge and like psh. I don't know. I like it. It looks really cool. And we've reached stage 3 of the Proto Castle. This has a nighttime filter, which I think it is cool, especially because how easy on the eyes it is. Not that this game has that bad visuals, it's just that a lot of the colors that they use are a little harder on the eyes. Even this yellow here, I don't know. It does kind of sting a little bit, I'll admit. I just feel like the earlier games were a bit softer on it. I don't want to bring this game down too much, but I do want to mention some flaws, and I do want to mention some good things about this game. Like I said, some of the music, at least in my opinion, is really good. Some of the music, however, I really have, like, no taste for. I don't care at all for. The level design is kind of bland and not really that important. This one's actually okay, I guess. It's just nothing too difficult or anything. Some stage assets look kind of cool in theory, but they're not really hard. They look cool in theory. Theoretically, they look cool. However, reality kicks in, and they're not actually that cool. Right here, we do have sort of what I can only assume is a precursor to the block puzzle in Super Mario World. And I guess New Super Mario Bros. Wii and whatever else there was. New Super Mario Bros. The DS version, etc., etc., etc. This is kind of cool, I guess. You just gotta keep up with it. But once again, it's really not that difficult. I guess that guy can be a bit difficult to dodge if you don't have good timing. However, I guess that could be said about any obstacle in this game. I kinda like this. You got a couple stairs of these guys. Once again, you can shoot through their shields if you're close enough with the charge shot. That guy, not too hard to dodge either. It's kind of the way I feel about some of these. Also some of the E-tanks are really easy to spot or even get. Like that one doesn't even seem too much of a problem. In fact, you could even just jump back on the platform, really. You gotta work for them, guys. E-tanks are really good. They're pretty powerful. I don't see why they're just kind of given out in this game. But that's nothing compared to what you see later in this game. I mean, seriously. I can understand maybe for the final boss if they gave you a free E-tank, and I think that is like I think that to be honest, that is kind of fair. I wouldn't say it's needed. It's just it's okay. It's not like it's too intrusive with the difficulty because it is the final boss. It sort of gets a pass from me. Right here, when you see he's going like that, when you see he's sort of like about to shoot something like that, you jump. Because these balls, well, they don't actually hurt you directly. They can actually freeze you, and that can leave room for him to shoot you. However, he can still miss. And it's time for the final stage in the Proto Castle. This would mean fighting Proto Man and the boss gauntlet and being done with the game, right? Well, as I mentioned before, it's obvious that Wily's the villain. I don't even think it needs to be a surprise at all. This stage is kind of fun to mess around with. Just get to a safe point where you can mess around, that is. Prepare to be amazed. Yeah. Now here's something interesting. If you use the super arrow, and if you get in the right spot, that is, you could thank you. You could slide inside here. However, you can't enter the door until the screen is fully scrolled. So there we go. Pardon me, I think your whistle is a little, out of tune or something. Oh, what? No, that's not even fair. Like, how does that do that much damage? Got a standoff, but it turns out that the real Proto Man has revealed the faker. And, yeah. And yeah, you know, like, just the usual stuff. I think you could actually slide under this guy's shots. I could be wrong though. I'll check. Yeah, you can. Now. This really isn't that hard of a boss. If I could say anything that does make it legitimately kinda difficult, but not really, is that his shots kind of do a decent amount of damage. But it's still not much to say that this is a hard boss by any stretch. And with that, I'll stand where his remains were, revealing that I was, in fact, the real robot. You've done well, Mega Man. Who's talking? I never expected you to defeat my powerful dark man robot. Oh, it's Dr. Wily. What are the odds of that? Till now I have managed to frame Proto Man for my crimes. But now, the real Proto Man has appeared and spoiled my plan. Do you mean foiled? I never heard spoiled a plan. Dr. Light is a captive in my lab. Come if you dare. Ha, ha, ha. Probably should get rid of those commas and get rid of that period at the end of ha ha ha, or else it just doesn't seem like you're even enthusiastic whatsoever. And with that, I've reached about an hour into this recording session, which, even if you were to see this on YouTube, even if you were to add it up, it wouldn't be that way, just because I've skipped a bit of a break, which may have been like a minute or two at most.